have the right image, particularly in different social media settings. And, it's very different in Instagram and on Facebook, then again on LinkedIn. It's all very, very different. So we've got Trevor Simon with us to talk about that. But Trevor does actually wear two hats. And I'm more interested in finding out how he can save me a bit of money right now. So, Trevor, tell us all a little bit about yourself and what are the two hats you're wearing?
All right, my two hats that I wear. My first hat that I wear is I'm a mortgage broker. I have an accounting background for many, many years, but my true passion has been photography. So I've been doing photography such as headshots, company portfolios, product shots, whatever. If it moves, I photograph it. And if it needs a photograph, I photograph it. From the point of view from mortgaging, having two hats in Australia, we pay the bills. Mortgaging at the moment is in an amazing situation right now where the banks are being very, very competitive. Rates are coming down. We've never seen rates like this in our lives before. Some banks are coming down at 2.19, 2.29. We can get variable rates at 2.70. I mean, these are incredible. We've never seen that. With a cash rate of 0.5%, this is something that is unprecedented. And at a time when we're looking at saving money, it's not a bad idea.
Absolutely. You were talking to me just a second ago about someone that you've just helped refinance, and they were on 4.75. Yeah. They saved 2% or close to it. That's amazing.
Well, they had a $850,000 loan, and they were on 4.67, I think it was, and I've managed to get them 2.70. So if you look at a 2% saving on an $800,000 loan,
$6,000
over $1,000 a month savings. It's incredible.
Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. So everyone out there, if you have a mortgage and you're looking at refinancing, hey, first step, go back to your bank and see what they'll do. But if they're unresponsive, have a chat with Trevor. It's more important, Trevor, though, that what you really are an expert in and what you've got a great background. And we unfortunately had a bit of a mishap with the last live that we did, so we're doing one again. It's all about image. So tell us, you are a photographer from way back.
Okay, I've been a photographer just about all my life. I started photography when I was 12 years old. I had my first pictures published when I was 15. And with that money that I made from having them published in the local newspaper, I bought my first digital camera. Oh, not digital in those days, it was a film camera, but it was a single lens reflex. And I started doing pro photography, paid my way through university. I got selected to head Leica cameras in South Africa. It's one of the leading brands. Top brand. It's your Rolex watches, your Rolex amongst watches, the Leica. Most professional photographers will aspire to have a Leica. And from then, I just had a complete passion for photography. Unfortunately, the Leica cameras were subject to exchange control in South Africa at the time. And I went back into my degree, which was accounting based, and I built an accounting company and always wanted to be a photographer. Came to Australia, wanted to be there some 10 years ago, and wanted to be a photographer, but I wasn't paying the bills. So I had a friend who was a mortgage broker, and he said, come and join us. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is really cool. Because not only can you save people money, but it feels good when you actually get somebody a mortgage or you get a first-time homeowner into their new home for the first time. It really was a feel good. Still got my passion for photography, so I split it. Wear two hats.
So let's talk
photography.
So let's talk a little bit more about photography. So with it's very important. Like, we hear about you've got to get the right angle and all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm no influencer or anything like that, so I don't know the right angles. What makes a difference between a great profile shot and a really crap one?
All right. Well, look, this one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was the LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really, really important now. If you're an employer and you're looking for employees, you will go into the LinkedIn and you will have a look at them. And a picture, an image tells 1,000 words. You can have a whole CV there, but if you have got a really good picture of yourself, you're ahead of the crowd. You, on the other hand, as an employee, will go in and have a look at who's going to employ you. So the employer needs a decent picture of himself. When you look at LinkedIn, it's a professional platform. It should be a professional photograph. If you can't use a professional, at least set it up properly than yourself. And if you can, if you want to do it, there's a couple of things that you should take into account. Use your iPhone, but don't have one of those where you do one of those selfies like that. That's not going to work.
I love the selfie.
Get a friend or a relative to take the picture for you. I mean, really, you can pose and they can take the picture. You don't get that arm stretch or that look that you've been taking a selfie. Take a couple of things into account. Number one, have the light behind you. So if it's an outdoor shot, have the sun over the picture, a person who's taking the picture over their shoulder, so you're not photographing into the sun. Otherwise you get flare. Have a look at the background. For LinkedIn, see if you can find a white wall, a neutral color wall, so that you don't have a disturbing background. However, if you're a real estate agent or one of those, might be a good idea to have a house in the background. So just take note of what you want to put in the background. Then in the foreground, see what's in front of you. If you are sitting at a table and they're taking a picture of you, make sure there's not an empty Coke bottle or a dirty ashtray or a dirty wine glass. Just clear the table in front of you. Too often we see these little things in front of us.
Social isolation. Nothing should be wrong right now.
And the other thing that what you should really do, and it's been proven that people respond to smiling photographs. The serious look doesn't work. The more happy, smiling, that's more friendly, more open. And then if you're going to open your arms, because it's just going to be the head and shoulders, open your arms. It looks like you are more friendly and more open. Practice smile. Excuse me.
It's really hard to have a smile when you're not in the mood to have a smile. Like it's
Well,
just
the thing.
natural.
You should practice. So you can't smile. That looks fake. But if you think of something funny, or you get the person who's taking the picture, give you a joke or something, and just do that quick, natural smile. Practice in the mirror. Have a look what your smile looks like. And then the posing. If you stand, we call it karate stance. So have your front foot towards the camera and your back foot at 90 degrees to your front foot, and just lean a little bit forward. You're coming towards the camera. It gives you posture. Chunk your shoulder blades slightly together. It makes you stand up better and straight. So with LinkedIn, take some care into it. And when you post it, there's only just one thing that you need to remember about LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you've got a square picture and a round image hole. So you're putting basically a square peg into a round hole. So just give it a bit more of a place to room to move. So a bit more of your chest and shoulders and your head, because it'll cut the top of your head off. If you really want to, there's a app called Square Ready on. I know that it's an app. I use an iPhone, so it's on the App Store. Download that, and it allows you to compose it and actually get better composition for LinkedIn. It's a free app that you can use, and it just makes your picture on LinkedIn look a little bit better. For social media, different. There you can have the kiddie party, you can have the glass of wine in your hand, you can show that you're riding a horse in the sunset, whatever. It's social. But LinkedIn is professional. There's a big distinction between the two. One of the things we do, sorry, Kevin, I'll wrap now. One of the things that we do when we do headshots for LinkedIn, we take all that into account, and then we do a little bit of Photoshop depending on the person, so that they get the best out of them. We make their eyes sparkle. When you look at a picture, the first thing you look at is the eyes. We get the eyes to sparkle.
Absolutely. So, so as you were saying, so the stance you're talking about a bow stance, great. So you got your foot going out and the other one going to the side, so that you've got nice, good, strong balance. Shoulders, should they be straight on, or should they be a little?
Quarters. So you should be facing the 3/4. So there's where you are, and the head towards the camera. Like that, and going a little bit forward.
So, of course, with a much better smile than I had there, but that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. So that'd be fantastic for LinkedIn. When we're thinking about other social platforms and where your profile is, let's face it, these days, a lot of people are using Facebook for business. They might have a separate account. It may not be as serious as your LinkedIn shot, but the other things you were talking about was having the sun and lighting behind you, so having a nice, bright background. So you're not
the sun behind the photographer, not behind the subject. That's a big difference. Otherwise, you're shooting into the sun behind the photographer.
Okay, so
shooting into the sun.
Excellent. So, but not so low so that you're squinting into it. Of course, that won't be a great picture. in
Take
terms
a
of
photograph in the shade so that with the sun behind you, but in the shade, so you're not squinting and it's not burning out your face.
excellent. So, and the most important thing is, what I always keep saying to people is, look, done is better than perfect, and particularly at the moment where we've got an elongated period of our self-isolation. Hey, ECHA was just called off, so my prediction right now is that it's going to be lasting longer than that. I have heard rumours as far out as October. It's a time to start reinventing your business and basically working on your business for any of the downtime you had, or for any of the time that you would have spent in travel to and from your business in the past. If you're still busy, you still don't have that travel time. So you should be putting a little bit of time each day working on your business. I find that really helpful. So thinking about the image that you're portraying, people's first look at you. Is it a nice, confident image? Because that's what people are looking for, particularly on a platform like LinkedIn. But still the same on when it does come to Facebook, and hey, it is Brisbane Small Business is a Facebook community, so people want to see that you've got a nice, confident picture in there, not one that is a little too inappropriate for a business atmosphere. But that doesn't mean you can't be having fun, as you said, and having something that brings your work into the picture can also be really cool. So in terms of so you've got a couple of go-to poses, as we said, the first one that we just had for LinkedIn. Are there other platforms where photography is really important, apart from your Pinterest and your Instagram, which are really obvious? Are there other platforms where people can share in this hobby and share in this scenario?
Look, Facebook is the number one go-to at the moment. There are photographic groups that you just need to Google them and you'll find them, and sharing pictures and that. But I just wanted to say one more thing about Facebook. Whatever you do on Facebook, don't post a picture of yourself being drunk or being inappropriate or kissing the wrong person. They are there forever. And I've seen it. I've seen that look where they've got the beer pouring, and it's not a good thing. And
look, I used to be a recruiter, and I used to be telling people all the time, look, yes, you've probably put up a few images that are a little inappropriate, and employers may have a look, and they said they shouldn't be having a look at that. And I said, look, they will. And I was coaching employers not to judge everyone on somebody's worst Facebook post, because, hey, what have you got up to in your life? So it is a really important point not to judge too harshly on those things, but to be conscious of them, absolutely. Trevor, thanks for helping us out with photography. Thanks even more for maybe helping us save money with our mortgages today.
My pleasure.
So what's the mortgage brand that you work with?
I work for Australian Mortgage and Finance Advisors. They're called AMAFA. I've got a credit rep under their license, but basically I work independently.
So you can always find Trevor Simon in the group. If you hunt down Trevor Simon, you'll be able to find him. Send him a message. He'll be able to help you out with your mortgage and maybe give you a few tips on photography at the same time.
The thing is that all I really need to know from you is how much you borrowed, what your current rate is, what you think your value of your house is, and I've got software that I can compare straight away. And what we'll do is give you a free report of it. No obligation, totally confidential. Just the starting point is to see if we can save you money.
So how harsh are the banks being on if people, if their business is affected and there is a downturn with COVID-19 and our isolation, how harsh are the banks being on that at the moment?
Look, they obviously have to be a little bit harsh. We are getting asked the question, is COVID-19 going to impact your earnings in the future? If not, then they're accepting that. On the other flip side of the coin, if you have a mortgage at the moment and you are struggling, please contact your branch or contact your bank. They've got packages lined up for you. They can give you 6 months pause. CBA announced the other day that they're not going to compound the interest. They will add the missed payments and the interest onto the end of the loan. But CBA actually stood up and said that they're not compounding it. I have not had the other banks, but I think they'll follow suit.
Absolutely.
So, ask your branch.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. Let's finish on a positive note. Let's give us your best smile. Give us your best profile smile. So,
Think about winning the lotto, and then you'll smile.